Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler. So happy to see ya. Even though I can't physically see ya, I can hear you breathing in the darkness. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm with my co-explorer, Amy Long.
Who is not strange.
Okay. We are coming to you from the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios in lovely Las Vegas, Nevada. And wouldn't you know it, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how to do, or give you some insight on how to do Vegas on a budget. Because look, Vegas is expensive. It's an expensive place, and it only seems like it's getting more and more expensive.
Right.
And there's, the cost of inflation and blah, 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 and wars around the world or something like that. I don't know. But there's a lot of reasons why Vegas is expensive, mainly because people keep buying the expensive stuff. That's the reason why. But hey, if you build it, they will come, right? On average, a 1-week trip to Las Vegas costs around $4,000 for
Really?
2 people. That includes accommodations, food, local transportation, some sightseeing, things like that. So we're going to try to help you out with getting under that number. Even if you come by yourself, and I don't know who comes to Vegas by themselves, but some people do, it still costs close to $2,000.
Well, a lot of people come for work, and they may stay an extra day or two.
Yeah, there you go.
So, maybe your hotel's covered by your work, but you need some other things to do that won't break the bank.
So we're going to try to help you out with some places to stay and some, ways to find some cheap tickets to sightsee or some shows, and definitely give you some recommendations anyway.
There's even a few free things to do here.
Yeah, and it's not the ones that instantly come to mind. And a few places that you can find some cheaper food if you really do want to keep that budget down, right? Vegas is, again, it's one of these towns that always fluctuates depending on what's going on.
Right.
Sporting events and conferences and different things like that can vary prices wildly when it comes to finding a place to stay, number one. But normally, there are a few locations around town that have lower prices most days.
Than most.
Lower than most. Now, so instantly, all your luxury properties, your Cosmo, your Wynn, Bellagio, places like that, you're probably not going to find
the Fontainebleau now.
The Fontainebleau. You're not going to find on a budget list. Although sometimes you can find a room for cheap, but these are places like Circus and the Luxor and Excalibur. These are kind of old school places that normally people point at and go, these are cheaper places to stay.
I would even put Treasure Island on that list.
There you go. I would say Treasure Island as well. And normally I would agree with you. There are drawbacks, though. Circus and Excalibur are geared 100% toward families.
Kids.
Yes. Kids on a budget, families on a budget. If you are down with that, go ahead. Do it all day and night, because there are 8 million people in Excalibur alone at any given moment. It seems like Circus is usually packed to the gills. And I'm not going to complain about it. We stay at the Circus in Reno.
Right.
It's a good budget-friendly place. But if you are kidless and you don't want to be around all that excitement and all that wonderful sugar all the time.
Well, and you have to remember the Circus here in Vegas also has a small amusement park inside of it.
Yes, it does.
Called the Adventure Dome. So you also have just an influx of people coming in every day to go to the Adventure Dome. So a lot of people in that property.
And I would say, before we go on, like the Luxor, okay? It used to be the Luxor was a premier destination, and there are things that still come through the Luxor. You'll hear about it. These days, especially in the last decade, in our opinions, the Luxor has gone downhill tremendously. There was a situation a year or so ago where a professional sports team had to move in the middle of the night because all of their rooms were not up to par, and just it's really the quality is down here. I wouldn't recommend anyone stay at the Luxor anymore.
Right.
Sorry. That's just my opinion. Circus again, Excalibur, kid things going on there. But there are some good places, in my opinion, places like the Flamingo. Mm-hmm. The Flamingo within the last year has done extensive renovations to their rooms and to their eateries and things of this nature. And to me, it is. We've gone up in the rooms. Our friends have stayed there. They look like nice rooms.
Yeah, they're nice.
They're
pretty
nice. They're budget friendly, and it's centrally located on the Strip. And that also goes for right next door at Harrah's.
Yeah.
We just had some friends in town. They were staying at Harrah's. They swore about it. They loved it.
Yeah.
They were like, "This is great."
We went up to the room. Very nice.
Yeah, and they didn't pay an arm and a leg for it. Another good place that's right off the Strip that oftentimes people from out of town don't know about it because they do more of local and regional campaigns than anything else. Is a place called Ellis Island.
Yeah.
Ellis Island was one of the first places that when we moved here to Vegas about 10 years ago, the people that were local brought me to, and they were like, if you want a cheap adult beverage, if you want a cheap meal, like you want that old school Vegas, like, oh, where can I get like a steak and eggs for $5.99, $6.99 or something like that? Ellis Island is that place. And I don't know if they have the steak and eggs right now for $5.99. Don't quote me on that one. But if you want a nice cheap meal and you don't want to, have to necessarily whip out the credit card for it, Ellis Island is a great place to stay.
They have great food options. And it's, as you said, it's off the Strip, but it's not far. I mean, you can easily walk there from the Strip if you even just want to go over there and eat. And a lot of locals do go to Ellis Island to eat because they have so many different food options there. It's
also a great place if you're here during football season. If you want to watch the games on the big screen TVs and stuff, they have some really great options as far as just, getting inside, having a cold adult beverage.
American football or not American football?
American football.
I thought they also do what we call soccer. Wasn't there, like, during the last World Cup, didn't you tell me, like, they were open all night long and it was packed because people were there watching games? Yeah.
I think they do it during, I'm not sure if they do, like, Premier League, like all year round, but definitely during World Cup season and bigger tournaments.
Yeah.
They do have those situations where they are it's a great place because it's off Strip. Yeah. So they'll have the tourists, but it's not a lot of tourists. It's more like a local casino.
Locals, yeah.
I really like it. A great place downtown, and my pick out of all of them is always going to be the Downtown Grand.
Mm-hmm. It is a very nice place. Yeah.
The Downtown Grand, again, a place that has been recently renovated. It has really nice rooms. And you're also going to hear this later, but they have fun little options like downstairs. And we saw this. We were there not too long ago, just a couple of weeks ago, walking through on the casino floor. You can find places to play blackjack for $5. $5 a hand, which is
cheap.
Which is what you can't find too many spots in Vegas anymore that do $5 blackjack all day and all night. So you can find that if you like to gamble. But they also had did you see the cart, the hot dog cart?
I did not. No, I didn't.
I even pointed out and said, look, there's a hot dog cart that says a PBR, which is a beer, a PBR, and a hot dog for $2.
Oh, you did tell me that, yeah.
And all day and all night, you can get a PBR and a hot dog for $2 right on the casino floor. You're not going to find that at the Cosmo.
And this is right on Fairmont Street. So if you want Fremont Street. So if you want that downtown experience, this is a great place to stay.
So that would be my pick, and I know you have one as well.
Yeah, my pick for the best kind of budget-friendly stay is the Westgate. It's not technically on the Strip. It's the street behind it, but this is old school Vegas. Yeah. I think it used to be called the International.
Yeah, the Las Vegas International.
This is where Elvis did his residency. So there's an Elvis statue in the lobby. It has been renovated, but it's old school Vegas, and this is also, if you like older music, they have a lot of great acts that come in, including Barry Manilow has taken over Elvis's theater.
Manilow, yeah. Mandy. I don't know the rest of that song. But yeah, it's the house that Elvis built back in the day. It was a lot of fun. Stay with us. We're talking Las Vegas on a budget. It's the Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler. We're coming to you from the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios in Las Vegas, Nevada, talking Sin City on a budget. I'm with my co-explorer, Amy Long.
Hi.
Great budget places. We just talked about some of our favorite budget hotels. And, you know, there's kind of on that same note, we forgot to even mention, like, there on the Strip, there is a Best Western.
And a Days Inn.
And a Days Inn.
You also have your other hotel chains that are, if they are not on the Strip, they're on one of the streets that intersects it. So there's a lot of options if you're loyal to a certain brand, or if you're just looking for something that's not a casino, that is just strictly a hotel. You can find pretty much anything in that Vegas Strip area.
And even if you want to say off Strip, like the downtown area, Derek Stevens, who owns most of downtown now, which is crazy, he's done a great job of mixing luxury properties now, like Circa, with budget-friendly places down there. And I mentioned the Downtown Grand, but there's also places like the Golden Nugget, which is a national, you know, it's a big iconic brand, which our friends who had just come from Southeast Texas, and they gamble at the Golden Nugget Casino that's in Lake Charles, and their points and everything would work at the Golden Nugget here. So if you're loyal to a certain brand, like you said, or there's like the Four Queens on Fremont, which is also like a more budget-friendly, budget-conscious option. So it's not all Wynn and caviar and Bellagio and fountains all the time. It can be something where you save money. And hey, the more money you save on rooms and stuff, which you're only just going to go in there and sleep anyway.
Yeah.
The more you can lose at the blackjack tables, or
spend on show tickets,
like we're going to tell you now. A great option is this is one of the entertainment capitals of the world, and oftentimes we get that moniker, entertainment capital of the world. We have residencies by all the big name artists at some point during the year, everywhere. Anyone who's anyone has a residency.
Right.
At some point, and usually those tickets can be expensive if you just walk up and buy them. But hey, if you want to see Usher and you're okay spending $300 a ticket, then spend your money however you want to.
$300 is still cheap.
It's still cheap.
What was Adele's tickets when she first started? They were like $1,500.
$1,500
a piece.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga's $600-$700 a piece.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, I mean, and if you're comfortable with that, because, hey, budgets vary, then spend your money. But if you're smart, like us, and you want to save a few bucks, there are lots of websites you can visit. You just have to be comfortable, and you have to be kind of fluid in what you want to do and the times you want to go. So you need to be a little bit flexible. Places like Vegas.com or even Groupon, or our personal favorite, Ticks for Vegas. .com, which sounds funny. It's TIX, the number 4, and then Vegas.com, are all of these ticket aggregates. They're ticket aggregate sites that can help us, to help people. Someone's speeding out there by our studio here, which I think they went to go to Vegas.com quickly to find some tickets. But if, like, say tonight, you can pull them up right now and find shows that normally go for $60, $70. I'm looking one at the MJ Live, which is a Michael Jackson tribute show. Go for $60, $70 right now. You can get tickets for tonight's show for $35.
So it's the unsold tickets for that day's show.
They basically aggregate unsold tickets for all of these shows. Not every single show on the Strip, but a lot of the shows on the Strip, and offer them for deep, deep discounts, because at the end of the day, they just want to fill the seats, man. Make sure it's a packed house for whoever's performing. And if you like, and that kind of goes to if you like variety shows or comedy, magic, if you're looking for a big name, if George Strait comes to town or some
George
huge,
Strait.
Well, he's
That's
a huge
the
country,
big name.
huge country artist. Okay. Okay, someone
it's
else.
1997. That might even be too past.
No one else I've mentioned is going to be any better. I was going to say Britney Spears, but
she's not doing a residency anymore.
Anyway, if they have a name like that, okay, Bruno Mars.
Okay,
Bruno Mars is here
right
now.
He's frequently here.
He is here, and he is kind of relevant to what I'm talking about. I don't think you're going to find too many Bruno Mars tickets on here. You just have to be willing to understand that. But if you do want to go see a really quality magic show or a comedy variety show, you can get those for $20, $25, as long as you're willing to hit the website and go, okay, hey, at 6:00, this is where we're going tonight.
Right.
And it'll save you a bunch of money, and you're still going to get a really good show, because I don't think look, bad shows don't last in Vegas.
No, they
If it's a
don't.
bad show, it closes down quick.
Right.
Even a lot of really good shows close down quick because, hey, man, this is about making money again, right? So you can find all of these places, and even...
I will say they don't usually have many. If you want to see the Cirque du Soleil shows, they don't typically have too many on there. Or if they are, it's a small discount. You're not going to find heavy discounts for those. But what we learned before we moved here, when we would come to Vegas, is that if you are staying in a hotel and they have a Cirque show in that hotel, you can usually get discounts on your Cirque tickets by purchasing them through your hotel. Or sometimes the hotel would have packages. Like if you're staying 3 nights, you'll get half price tickets to whatever Cirque show they're having. So if you do want to stay at one of those properties and you want to see the show there, look and see if they have the discount packages.
I remember, I forget who it was we saw when we stayed at Treasure Island.
Mystere.
Years ago, but it was the comedy show.
Oh.
And we went and saw someone, but like we paid before we got here, and we thought we got a good deal, but I think we paid like $80.
Bill Engvall.
There we go. We billing.
We are old, and we
anyway.
are Southern.
We paid like $80 a ticket. And then when we got to the hotel, they're like, hey, do you need tickets? We got them for like $20 a pop right now.
We were so mad.
The theaters here in Vegas, you need to understand that they're built that where there's not a bad seat in the house. In any of these theaters, I have yet to come across a really bad seat.
Right.
There are better seats like close to the stage, but there's not bad seats. And I was like, oh man, because in the end, that was $120 that we could have spent somewhere else,
Right.
And so, again, keeping that budget conscious thought in mind, man. So we save you a little bit on hotel. You get to that cheaper hotel, not a cheap hotel, budget friendly hotel. And then they oftentimes will give you, maybe ask the concierge or someone up front, and they'll be like, hey, there's about 20 unsold tickets for tonight's show. We'll give it to you for $30.
And also, if you're walking up and down the strip, you will see these little ticketing booths. I think they're called half-price ticks.
Yeah.
Half-price tickets.
I don't think they have a website.
I think you have to walk up to the booth, but it's the same concept as the other websites where it's unsold tickets for that night. If you, again, are fluid in what you're doing, your plans, that didn't sound right. If you let's say are open to whatever show you want to see, I'm still not phrasing this right. Anyway, it's the same thing where you can walk up and they will tell you these are the shows that we have tickets for tonight, and you can get a pretty good discount on them. We've done that a couple of times when we were just down on the strip, so another great option.
Yeah. All kinds of ways to save money, and man, I'm telling you, you got a lot of great ways. You save us a lot of money before we ever came here. So we're staying right here in Vegas. It's the Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler. So glad you are joining us. We are talking about doing Vegas on a budget because Vegas is expensive and we're trying to save you some dollars, man. I'm here with my co-explorer, Amy Long.
Hi.
We're coming to you from the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios in Las Vegas. And we've been here about 10 years. We know some things.
Some.
And, Vegas is one of these cities that is always changing.
Mm-hmm.
It's always changing. And I know the trend recently over the last few years has been to, get more and more expensive, more and more things. Prices are going up everywhere. But there's still a lot of budget-friendly and even free things to do in Las Vegas. We gave you some budget-friendly hotels. We were even going to talk some cheap eats and where you could find some cheaper tickets if you absolutely want to see a show tonight, what you should do, and where you should go. But let's talk about some free things.
Well, I think if we're going to talk about shows, the best place to see a free show is Fremont Street.
Fremont.
They have multiple stages set up as you walk down the covered area where people are performing different bands and local DJs. And then they also have just the LED screen that is its own show in itself. And even now, I think, is it on weekend nights that they have these like special showings where it's to certain music. So we were walking down there. It was playing all music by one artist, and all the different lights were like timed to the music.
Like every hour on the hour, they'll have these huge LED shows that go along to, they'll have artists like Katy Perry and different bands. I don't want to name any more bands because you're just like, oh, you're old. But
I'm sorry.
But I think about it too. As soon as I name them, I'm like, oh, I'm so old. But like maybe 5 years ago, they completely renovated the awning on Fremont Street that covers Fremont Street. And it is one of the biggest LED screens and most state-of-the-art screens in the entire world. And they spent a ton of money on this. And so the draw of Las Vegas is, and you'll kind of wonder why, like, why do they give away so many free concerts and free shows? And, aren't casinos worried about that? Well, casinos make most of their money at the tables.
Right.
They want people to come in. They want you to gamble, spend some money in the restaurants, the kind of some overpriced restaurants and places. And everything else is almost like a lost lead for them. Like, if we can just get you down here,
right,
then we will hook you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to come in to like do certain things or whatever, and hopefully you'll stop and press your luck at the roulette table or something like that, and we'll make our money there. So Fremont Street, which is a great example, has stages along the street, and they have, especially during the summertime, they have their free concert series, which they bring in bigger name artists that play free concerts on the street, and they will be packed out.
Right.
The Fremont Street experience will be packed out full of people. And I mean, these aren't throwaway bands either. These are bands that are still relevant. I think Seether was just down there, which if you're a rock fan, and then they do hip hop and other artists and everything else. So you'll have to pay attention. And I think it's called the FremontStreetExperience.com, where you can go down and see like who's going to play during the summer series.
Well, and also down there, they've started restoring some of the old neon signs from classic Vegas, and they've reinstalled them along Fremont, so you can see some of the old Vegas, like the glass slipper and the martini glass, all lit up at night. The cowboy, yes, all lit up at night. So it's really cool if you're into that. But then the downtown area is right next to the arts district. Yeah. So if you are into art, we go down there all the time and just walk around and look at the outdoor art installations, murals painted on the sides of buildings, parking garages. Everywhere you look, there's something. Yeah.
The Arts Factory is also a place that's downtown. It's a wonderful place to kind of go, again, kind of keeping with the artistic vibe. The murals are everywhere, which have come up in the last decade since we've been here. They've really changed and come into a life of their own, where now people just walk around downtown like, hey, we're looking for all the different art murals and art alleys. There's even an art alleyway or two. And so it's a lot of fun, like right down there. And even places like the Golden Nugget, which is on Fremont Street, they do have the largest golden nugget in the world. It's 66 pounds, a 66-pound golden nugget. That's just there. You can just go check out. It's like one of those cool, odd things, like the biggest ball of yarn or something. And then there's places like the Container Park and the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop, which if you are a fan of reality TV, you'll know Pawn Stars. And this is where Rick Harrison and his family did their show. Is that show still on? I don't even know if it's still on. But you can go to the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop where these guys, were made famous, and just walk around and look at the things that they have. It's a very small building, actually.
Yeah.
So other things are more classic. like the Bellagio Conservatory and Botanical Gardens,
Yes.
which they change out every season.
4 times a year, they have a whole new installation. They go dark for 1 or 2 days, so it's not open 365 days a year. You have roughly 2 days that they take down everything, and then they put up a whole new thing. And when we say, like, this is incredible to see, it's walking into a fairy tale.
Yeah.
That's how I think of it. You were just
Every
there
single
and
time.
saw the newest installation.
Yeah, and they'll have art installations inside. It makes it look like stuff is floating. They usually have waterfalls of some sort, and this is in a room in the middle, or like an open air room in the middle of the Bellagio Hotel, and people are just flocked around and just taking pictures and video, and it's gorgeous. It is a gorgeous. It's usually, I mean, I know we were joking about this at some point, talking about breathtaking babies, but it's breathtaking sometimes. And like you said, they do it so often. And I know it's something crazy. Like, they keep a number of people on staff that all that they do is handle the creations that are in the botanical conservatory and gardens.
Because it is a botanical conservatory, it's all made out of plants and wildlife, mostly flowers. So if you've ever seen the Rose Bowl parade and these giant floats that are covered in flowers, think of that you can actually walk inside of. It's really incredible to see, and just one of these things, like, until you see it, you can't really explain it, but it's neat. It's entirely free. It is right off of the Bellagio lobby.
Yeah. A short distance away, there are really like kind of Vegas iconic now places like the Coca-Cola store, and the M&M store, and Hershey World, which are all located kind of, well, I think Coca-Cola store and the M&M store are independent. Hershey World is actually inside the New York hotel. But these are places that you can go in. The M&M store and the Coca-Cola store, in fact, are multiple stories. And you can go through. It's like the M&M one in particular. Is like the history of M&Ms, how they're created, where they came from, all of that.
They have a little show that you can sit in and watch.
Yeah, a little theater that you can watch a little story on the M&Ms and everything. So it's just kind of fun if you have smaller kids, especially. They really like that. And in fact, every time I go in there, I'm like, I love this.
We always end up buying something.
And that's the thing, right? It's a lost lead. You can come in the store for free because we know you're going to leave with some M&Ms or a shirt or something. And usually I do because they know me.
Well, and we mentioned this property earlier, but the Flamingo, for those who don't know, has a wildlife habitat on the backside of the property. Entirely free to go out there. They do have flamingos. They have some other wildlife and different types of giant goldfish. And you can just go out there and see them. And they do occasionally, they're out there feeding the flamingos. It's really neat. But we were talking about how the downtown has one of the biggest LED screens. I think we have to mention the Sphere.
Yeah. You can just stand outside
and watch the Sphere.
Just stare at the Sphere like everyone else does. It's the Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler. Remember, you can find all of our past episodes and interviews at fullmetaltraveler.com. We are coming to you from the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios in Las Vegas, and wouldn't you know it, we're talking about Las Vegas, how to do it on a budget. I'm here with my co-financier, Amy Long. We're giving you hopefully some great tips on where to stay, things you can do, which we're going to continue on with here. And we're talking about, hey, if you need to find some cheap tickets, if you absolutely want to go to a show, give you some of those websites you can visit. But we were talking about free things to do and things that don't cost a whole lot of money. Let me preface this, that we're going to name a couple of things, But it would probably be easier if you rented a car in this instance. Or if you're like coming from the region and you already are in your car or something like that, it would make it easier to get to these things. But once you get to them, it's free.
Right.
Like there's an art installation off of Highway 15. If you're coming from LA, it's on the right side of the road. It's called 7 Magic Mountains. And
it is 7 very tall stacks of rocks that are all painted very colorfully.
There you go. And it's very fun to go out there. You don't realize, I mean, from the highway, that it doesn't look very big.
Yeah.
And then you get up close and you're like, wow,
that's very tall.
Pretty impressive. And they're all balanced. They're not cut that way. They're just balanced a certain way. And 7 Magic Mountains is now kind of taking on a life of its own. People go out there all the time to take pictures. You'll see an endless number of influencers out there doing stuff. I don't know what they do.
Well, and while you're on that side of the city, if you go into the Silverton Casino and Hotel, they have the giant aquarium in the middle that has the Living Mermaid show in it. So that's fun to watch. Our kids used to like going down there and watching the mermaids.
It's different from the Dead Mermaid show, which is a totally different feel. Do not bring the kids. But I would recommend it. But they do have a mermaid show there, and they have this giant aquarium. But the mermaids will get in there, and they'll, the kids love seeing them, and you'll see kids lined up everywhere, and they'll press their little chubby little faces.
And they pretend to pet the fish. And there's this giant stingray in there.
One of them, I mean, she was taking some sand off the bottom and was like making little sand hearts in the water. And kids really love it, and parents love it because the kids are being quiet and like watching the mermaids, and so kind of a little break for everybody. And there's a Bass Pro Shop right there, and I don't know how that factors in, but Dad could wander off.
That's how that factors in.
There you go. And so 7 Magic Mountains north of the city is for a couple of dollars you can go see the Valley of Fire. On the west side of the city, for again a couple of bucks, you can go see the Red Rock Canyon Scenic Drive if you are into outdoors settings, or if you have your America the Beautiful Pass. The America Beautiful Pass covers all of those state parks, which is a great investment anyway.
If you're on the northwest part of the city too, there is an apple orchard. It is only open certain days of the week for certain times, but it's not just an apple orchard. They also have a very large vegetable patch, which doesn't sound interesting, but at the fall season...
If you've ever just wanted to watch some vegetables.
But during the fall season, this is where people from all over the city come to buy pumpkins and squashes. And you will see cars lined up and down the streets for miles, people with wheelbarrows going and getting pumpkins. And it's just kind of a fun fall activity. But they are open from spring to fall every year, like 3 days a week. So you can go pick apples.
They can take pictures. They do... I think don't they have sunflowers now?
They sell flowers. They also make jams and butters and different things with some of their vegetables. So you can purchase things from the shop, or they make donuts.
Crazy good donuts that you can buy, and they're cheap by the dozen. And I'm drooling thinking about them right now, which is a wonderful place. So the Gilchrist Orchard, which is fun in the northwest part of town. So again, you kind of need a car to go to some of these places. But right up the road from that also is Mount Charleston, which has a lot of hiking. It's free. There's no entry, paid entry to get into the Mount Charleston trails or anything like that. So there are those kind of places around. And even places like the Ethel Elm Chocolate Factory and Cactus Garden. Yeah. It's free to walk around. They even have glass on the windows, so you can see them making chocolate sometimes if it's that time of the day where they're doing that, and then you can inevitably break down and go buy some chocolate from.
Well, you have to buy chocolate. You can't go in there and smell them making chocolate and not buy some.
Real quick, before we let you guys go, I know one of the biggest things is usually food. That's where you're going to spend your money. A couple of places that are around town that are still good quality meals for less than what there's a lot of places on the strip that are named after celebrity chefs. And while you will get a good meal there, you are going to pay $20 for a hamburger in places such as this, which Sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes it's not. Especially if you're on a budget. Downtown on Charleston, you're going to find Tacos El Gordo. Tacos El Gordo is regularly ranked as one of the best taco places in all of Las Vegas.
I love tacos.
And okay, and the prices there are going to range from $5 to $7. Okay, and you're gonna have your. Well, I'm just looking at a picture right now. I just lost all thought. You're going to have your fill of tacos, and it's affordable, and they are incredible eats. So, Tacos El Gordo or places like Viva Las Arepas. I probably didn't say that right, but it's Venezuelan. Venezuelan food that the meals range from about $5 to $9. Again, great food that always ranks high. Look, someone's speeding off to go get it right now. I'm glad when they do that, man. They're listening right now to the show and they want to go get some cheap but quality food. Also, you're going to have places, excuse me real quick, like Village Pub. We talked about Ellis Island earlier. Inside of Ellis Island, you are going to find Village Pub and Cafe. This is that place, right, where you're going to get the 10-ounce top sirloin steak with like potatoes and rice and all the fixings and all of that for $9.99. So people that used to wonder, hey, what happened to the old like steaks for $1 and all that? Okay, they don't exist anymore, not in this new Vegas, but you could still get a 10-ounce top sirloin steak for $9.99 at the Village Pub and Cafe at Ellis Island, which is a crazy good deal, man. And on the Strip, you're going to have places like Bang Bar or Whataburger. Whataburger is a Southern institution when it comes to hamburgers, and they just returned to the city not too long ago. It's right there on the Strip. Get you a good quality Whataburger.
Whataburger.
Not Waterburger.
That's how I say it. Sorry.
But Whataburger is really good. Or you could go across the street to like the Ocean One Bar and Grill. Have you ever been there?
I haven't. No, I've heard a lot of people talk about it, but I've never been.
You can get like the 3-for-1 cocktail special for like $12, which that's 3 cocktails for $12.
Oh, that's
insane.
Usually one cocktail is more than $12. So
at
that's
lunch
cheap.
and at dinner. You can do that. And all their lunch menu items are priced at around $5.99.
Oh, that's a really good deal.
Yeah, the Ocean One Bar and Grill. And it's right on the Strip, so you're going to have a good time. Did I leave anything out? I don't think I did. I mean, if you want breakfast. Oh, okay, so I did mention Cosmopolitan earlier. Mm-hmm. The Cosmopolitan is home to one cheaper food that you can find if you can find it.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
And that is Secret Pizza.
Yep.
If you can find the secret restaurant called Secret Pizza, you can get a nice size slice of cheese pizza for like, what is it, like $6?
I think it's like $6, but it's not a small slice. It's a
large slice of pizza. Or if you're with a group of people, you can get a whole pizza starting at $30, and these are large slice pizzas.
Very big.
And it's right there inside Cosmo. I don't want to ruin it and tell you where it is. That's why it's called Secret Pizza, because there's no advertisements for it. There's no signs on the wall. You're just going to find it down a hallway. And once you're there, I mean, there's barely enough room for 2 people to stand, side by side and order. And you grab your pizza and get the heck out of there.
Right.
But it's very affordable, and you won't be disappointed because it's so good. Especially if it's like 3 a.m.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like when we had it, we had been partaking of some drinks. So I don't know if I have the best recollection of what the pizza tasted like, but I remember thinking it was very good.
It's one of those nights where you're like, this pizza's awesome, bro. Like you're leaning on a wall and all that stuff, man. So hope you found some helpful hints. Vegas on a budget. Be sure to check us out on FullMetalTraveler.com. We'll have it all listed in the show notes, all those wonderful places. For Amy, I am Jeremy Long. We will see you guys next time.